Hey guys, I'm back at it with another video. My birthday just passed on the 7th. First of all, y'all give it up for me. Period, yep. So, my birthday was on the 7th. I was MIA, I was not in the G. I'm not gonna tell y'all where I was at. No, I'm just playing. I went to the beach. I went to the beach. Y'all know I live a private life because I'm no contact with my family. And they be stalking me. And I'm no contact with other people too, and they be stalking me too. And y'all not gonna get no tea out of me, period. Y'all not gonna know. So anyway, that's beside the point. Let's jump straight into this story time. I told y'all in my last video, I was gonna do a story time about the time my father threatened to kill, can I say that? Yeah. Threatened to unalive me and my brother. At the time, I probably was like 16. Yeah, I probably like 16, 17. My brother probably, I don't know. So anyway, so this was back when I was still living with my mom and my dad, and they was still together at the time. And they was raising me and my brother. I think I was going to Hunter Hoods. And so, as always, there was a lot of stuff going on. It was one day we came home. I don't know if we was with my dad or if he came home and just told us about it. But it was one day he came home and he said that the mailbox was leaning to the side. That's what he said. He came home one day, he said the mailbox was leaning to the side. So when he came in and he was telling us about it, I think he called everybody together and was telling us. I don't remember how the conversation necessarily went. In my brain, I felt like somebody just must have hit the mailbox and just drove off. You know what I mean? Like, people be doing that. They'll hit the mailbox and drop off. So that's what I'm thinking somebody did. So I don't know if he brought that up, like brought up that scenario of maybe somebody possibly hitting it and then driving away. All I know was he felt some type of way. He was upset, which that's understandable. That's understandable to be upset. Somebody hits your mailbox, right? And then they ain't even leave no note or nothing. So boom. He was telling us about it. He was upset, and he basically went. He took the mailbox out of the ground, and then he put it back in the ground. And so, which now I know that with a mailbox, you're supposed to like really install a mailbox. You can't just take no mailbox and put it in the ground because a mailbox is heavy. Anyway, we're gonna get to that. Fast forward some days later, he come home again. And he says that this time the mailbox was all the way out the ground and it was just laying there. So long story short, my parents, they ended up calling a family meeting. Now, a family meeting in the household I was living at or that I grew up in was basically just my mom or my dad calling me and my brother downstairs, and we sitting in the family room, and it's just my mom and my dad talking about the stuff that they have issues with or just trying to embarrass me or my brother. Like, I don't know, y'all. So it was a family meeting call, and my family, we all was sitting in the living room. And my dad told us, he was like, he came home, and this time the mailbox was all the way out the ground, just laying there. And he said instantly, y'all, I swear to God. And I know you're going to be like, hey, I don't know. Let me just tell y'all. So, when he says that, this man looked at me and said, he basically accused me of being the reason why the mailbox kept being knocked over. So, basically in his brain, this is what he told me. He was like,
yeah, Taylor, because you be going outside and you probably done got into it with one of the little girls in the neighborhood, and now they terrorizing our house. And I'm finna tell you now, I'm not dealing with none of that, nothing that you got going on. I'm not dealing with none of that. And if anybody come around this house, I'm gonna do something to them and do that.
So he started going off like that. Instantly, y'all, I started feeling some type of way, obviously. Because, yeah, I was going outside at the time. But, y'all, outside was not, how can I say? I lived in the suburbs. That's for one. I lived in the suburbs. It was a very quiet neighborhood. We did not live in a very active neighborhood with people constantly outside. A lot of the times, majority of the time, people would not be outside unless they were actively doing something, like they were outside with their children, barbecuing, whatever. Then people would be outside. But majority of the time, people was just not outside, standing around on the block, whatever. Yeah, I would go outside and play with the kids outside, but it would be like probably 1 or 2 people that I would go to and play with them. I was able to walk around the neighborhood, but I wasn't allowed to go in people's houses and stuff. And that's where people would have fun at. They would have fun in their house. No one's going to stand outside with me all day, every day. So it's just kind of like, he came up with this idea that I am beefing with some imaginary person, and they're retaliating against me by taking my family's mailbox out the ground. It's just, when he said this to me, I was too stunned to speak, because, sir, what the fuck are you talking about? Excuse my language. It's making me upset all over again, because I can't believe this really happened. This man accused me of being the reason why the mailbox was jacked up. And when I tell y'all, I would tell you the truth now. I'm 26. Yeah, I'm 26 years old. I'll tell you the truth now. I had nothing to do with that mailbox being jacked up. That was news to me too when he brought it to us. Like, I don't know. So he starts accusing me of these things. So of course I'm just sitting there and I'm letting him talk. So as this man is talking, y'all, he's visibly making himself more and more upset. Now that I'm an adult and I'm older, I don't know if he was waiting on me to cut him off and to say, no, that's not true, I had nothing to do with that. And maybe I did. I don't really remember how the conversation went, but knowing me and knowing how my parents was, I was not allowed to have a voice. I wasn't allowed to have an opinion. I had got put out my dad's car when I was like, 11 years old, 12 years old, just because I disagreed with him about a conversation we were having. So 9 times out of 10, I probably just sat up there and listened and was waiting for him to finish talking. As this man is talking, he's visibly making himself more and more angry, because whatever made up scenario he came up with in his head of how I was the problem on why the one day their mailbox just started being jacked up, right? As he's going along with this story that he made up, he's making himself angry by what he is saying. So it went from, yeah, Taylor, because you be outside, you probably got into it with somebody in the neighborhood, and now they're retaliating by taking our mailbox out of the ground. And I'm telling you now, I'm not dealing with none of that. And if anybody come in this house, I think that's what triggered him. I think when he got to the part of like imagining some kid like coming into his house to attack me or whatever he thought was going on, I think that's what really did it for him. So he was
like, yeah, if anybody come in this house and I'm doing something to both of y'all, if anybody come in this house on behalf of any of y'all, I'm gonna do something to both of y'all. I don't care that y'all live in this house. I will do something to y'all, because y'all know what I got? I got a gun upstairs. I got a gun upstairs in my closet, and y'all don't even know where it's at. So let somebody think they gonna come in here. I'ma do something to them. I will shoot them, and I will shoot y'all, and I will kill you.
Like this man, I'm telling you, y'all, he started going on and on and on. And it was definitely, my bad, y'all, it's a freaking net. This man was going on and on to the point where like he was now yelling, talking aggressive. Now keep in mind, everybody in the room, he the only one that done been talking the whole duration of the time. And now he went from talking regular to now he mad, as if he just sat up and argued, or somebody just came and told him that this was gonna happen. So he talking, me and my brother, we ain't said nothing. We just listening. We just sitting there letting him talk. And so then he starts talking about how he would do something to me and my brother, how he would unalive us and stuff. We still just letting this man talk. So after a while, y'all, and then let me remember, because That's really the only part I remember was him threatening us. Now, because now my memory is coming back, y'all. While my dad was saying all this, my mom was sitting right next to him. My mama really sat up next to my dad and let him threaten her kids. And I'm knowing, because it was times where my dad, he would get upset with me, or he would get upset with my brother. And he would say the reason why he's upset, and it genuinely wouldn't make any sense. This wasn't us trying to pick on him. This wasn't us trying to make him seem like he was crazy. It was certain things that my dad did and said that genuinely didn't make any sense. Like with the mailbox thing. How do you come home one day and your mailbox is leaning to the side and the first person you're accusing is your daughter? I don't know. I just thought that was well. Yeah, so my mom, she was sitting up there. I don't want to say she was co-signing. I remember her just being quiet. I don't remember her like hyping him up. Maybe she was. I don't think so though. It was times where my dad would be tripping on us and I could visibly see on my mom's face that she was not agreeing with him. And instead of she stood on business as a woman and protected the children that came out of her vagina, she would sit up there and she would just be quiet. And I guess her facial expressions of her was her way of kind of showing us that she didn't agree. But I don't care about none of that, because when it came to stuff she didn't agree about with me, she was very highly vocal about that, very loud, very much willing to get on the phone and tell people about how she didn't agree with certain things I did or said. But when it came to my dad though, she would sit beside him and not say anything and allow this man to just say anything out his mouth, even threaten to kill her children that she helped bring into this world. Anyway, like I said, I believe someone just came and they hit the mailbox and they drove off. That's what I think happened. It happens all the time. And when my dad pulled the mailbox out the ground and tried to stick it back in the ground, the weight of the mailbox was unable to resist the wind and stuff, so it just fell back down. And that man really sat up there and went on a tangent on how he would unalive his children if somebody came into his house on behalf of his kids. And I get what he's saying to a certain extent on, no, I wouldn't want nobody coming in my house neither, or breaking in my house and try to get at my kid neither. I don't have any kids, but I'm saying I wouldn't want that scenario to happen neither. But for that to escalate, and that's what my dad had in his brain, just because he came home one day and the mailbox was towed up, I just think that's wild. And I really think my dad hated me and my brother. I think he really hated us. And I think that he couldn't move with us the way he wanted to, especially with me. Now that I'm older, I do know for a fact my dad was attracted to me. He was highly attracted to me. It's an uncomfortable thing to have to really address. But a lot of the abuse that I suffered under the hands of my parents came from my dad being attracted to me and having this weird obsession with me. That was another reason why my mom did not like me. Every little thing, like it was times I was sitting next to my mom eating food and she would yell at me because she didn't like the way I chewed. She would say, "Stop, why are you chewing like that? Oh my gosh, I would hate to see you on a date." Like that's like she would say the same thing every time. She would always degrade me. It was certain things that she could have taught me that she didn't want to teach me. She stole my money. I was 26. I keep saying I'm 26 years old. I don't know why I keep saying that. I don't know. It's lit though. Like, I ain't gonna lie. I feel like this gonna be the start of my best years. Like a lot, like my early 20s was me just recovering from a lot of things that I went through and just trying to make sense of it. 26 is now, this is the start of me basically picking up where I left off before the trauma hit and started affecting me. Like I said, my birthday passed. I was able to get a lot of things that I wanted ever since I was in high school. Like I got a soccer jersey. I want to show y'all, but I don't know, because I don't know who be watching me. Well, I kind of do, but I kind of don't. But I was able to get a lot of things and do a lot of things that I've been wanting to do since I was younger. And I just been healing my inner child because I didn't deserve that stuff. I didn't deserve what I went through under the hands of my family. especially my parents, the ones who decided to have kids. I can understand that they didn't expect to go through a lot of the things that they went through from having children, but that is not my fault. And I feel like a lot of them wanted to blame me. A lot of parents want to blame their kids and be mean to them and rude and yell at them and all kinds of stuff. But it's like, if the parent doesn't want to take accountability, right? Because a parent will have a child, and then when they realize that a child is not like an animal, you can't just feed and clothe and whatever a kid and they're going to be okay. No, you actually have to teach them. You have to mold them. You have to do other things than just the surface level things. And I can understand people not knowing something, and then when they go through the experience, realizing, oh, this is more than they can bear. But to put that burden on your kid and to make your kid feel like they're the problem, they're the issue, they're the reason why y'all are going through these things, I would never respect that. I would never respect that, because if you as the parent don't even want to take accountability, what the hell makes you think that's okay for you to put that on the child that was not even around when you was making the decision of, I want to be a parent? Y'all be goofy as hell. Y'all be some evil people, and y'all be wanting to be parents, and that's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. I was just talking about this the other day on how it be some of the most evil, vindictive, revengeful women. They have some of the most innocent, beautiful children, and their kids be so nice and so sweet, and their parents, like their mom or their dad, be so freaking evil. That's all I can really describe it as. They just be evil, and it's sad. It's sad to see. I was one of them. My mom, the way my mom treated me, I know that's how she treated other women. I know she did. Maybe not certain things like putting her hands on me. My mom was very scary. You know, she was not the type that was going to get in the field. She was going to talk a good game, but she was not going to fight you, but she fought me. So a lot of the blows that my mom wanted to give her managers or her coworkers or her past friends, I had to take it. So I'm okay with that, though. I'm okay. It made me stronger. It made me love myself more. It made me give myself more grace. Would I recommend that path for myself again or other people? No. But I love my mom enough to accept the abuse that she had inflicted on me. Like I said, I'll probably never get an apology. Not from her, not from my dad, not from really probably anybody that has harmed me. I feel like the reason why people don't ever really want to apologize to me particularly is because of how I show up. I come off as very nice, very sweet, to the point where people thought that I was dumb. They used to call me slow, which I'll take that. But with that being said, by them thinking that I was slow or dumb or incompetent, they were able to show their real and true colors around me. So it's a lot of people that showed me sides of them that they would never show other people. And it's because they know if they showed other people this side of them, people would go and talk about them. People wouldn't want to be around them. And I know you probably like, well, why would you stay around them? I stayed around them because I loved them. I thought they loved me. I understood trauma to a certain extent. I was friends with homegirls that they were in abusive relationship cycles, and then they would abuse me in certain ways, like talk to me crazy. I had this one friend that would try to inconvenience me purposely. So they'd be like trying to have me wait on them, or they may have something that I may need or want, and they would kind of not offer it or try to get me to beg for it, things like that. And I would stay around it and I would accept it because I understood that those people were just doing what was done to them. They were just like, I had people be in abusive relationships with men, and these women would leave from around those men and do the same abusive tactics that those men do on those women to me, literally. And like I said, I would accept it because I understood trauma to a certain extent. But then I had to realize that those people did not like me because the same way they was in abusive relationships, I was in abusive relationships too. And it was things that I would have never thought to do to the people that I loved. And I think that also was triggering to them too. Like once they sat back and seen that I did not do the same things or would have never done the same things that they did to me. Like with my brother, like I wholeheartedly believe I would have never told my mom that was okay for her to keep my brother out. I love my brother. I still love him. I would never talk to him again, but I still love my brother. Like, you know, that's always gonna be my bro. But I would have never agreed to that. Just from the abuse I seen my brother go through from the hands of my mom. We could talk about my dad, but it's like a lot of times, especially here in America, when the parents split, the mom is the primary caregiver to those children, unfortunately. So with that being said, I definitely felt like my mom could have been a better protector to me and my brother, and she wasn't. So from me having this knowledge and seeing how she didn't protect my brother the way she could have, why the hell would I get older and tell her to kick him out? And I love him. Are you dumb? You think you're gonna abuse this child, their whole upbringing, and let other people abuse them? And then now when this person is effed up and they're going through mental problems, you think that I'm going to support you in discarding that person on the streets? Knowing you didn't teach us how to stand on our own 2 feet? I would have never done that to my brother. To this day, I wouldn't care if I had, I would never. That sounds terrible. You're going to abuse your child, their whole upbringing. And now this child is in their 20s and they may have anger issues. They may be disrespectful. They may be this, that, and the third. But you know that you exposed this child to this for a prolonged period of time. So this child is not doing anything that wasn't done to them, especially under the hands of you as the parent. So why would anybody support anyone on putting out their child that they took part in traumatized? That's crazy. I would have never done that. And I think that's another reason why, like my brother, he probably would never admit to himself or other people that he was wrong about what he thought about me and how he moved with me and the things he said about me. Like I say, it's people that'll never apologize because of the things they did. They went too far. If I walk past somebody on the street and I accidentally step on their shoe, that's not a big deal. I'll apologize to you. I'm sorry. If I grew up in a family structure and I watch you get bullied or I watch you get abused your whole upbringing, and instead of I be there for you and support you, I go against you with the same people that abused you, how do you apologize for something like that? Or with a parent, I made a short about this the other day about parents whooping their kids. And I say, how do you apologize to someone if you wrongfully whoop them? Like say if you think somebody did something they did not, and you find out that the person really didn't do it. How do you come back and apologize? That's why a lot of parents don't. They don't apologize to their kids because they know they took it too far. When somebody knows they took things too far with you and they start to see the truth behind how they were wrong, a lot of times what people will do, either they will submit to that and they'll take accountability, but what a lot of times people, they will just double down. They will double down on being wrong. They will double down on their actions. They will even try to provoke you. I've had people try to provoke me to get angry at them or to do something to them so they can say, hey, look, see, look what she's doing. Look what she said about me. That's why I did X, Y, Z. That's why I don't react to people. I get on my YouTube, I tell my story, that's it. And I'm going about my business. I don't react. I don't know. You feel what I'm saying? Because people, it's like their life depended on, and it do, like their life really do depend on it, because these people care a lot about their image. They care a lot about their reputation. They care what people think about them, how they see them. One thing about me, I didn't care. My reputation ain't stand a chance from the beginning. My dad SA'd me. My dad SA'd me and my mom stayed with him. I didn't stand a chance. You think my mama, knowing what she knew about what happened to me, you think she was gonna go and tell people, oh, my daughter, she's such a good person. She's so honest. She tells the truth. She's more honest than me. She done things that I would have never thought to do. You think my mama gonna go and tell the truth about me? And she sat back and knew the things that I went through? No. She had to make me out to be every bit of evil and selfish and a liar and all of these things because she couldn't handle the fact that she brought a girl, a child, a daughter into this world and was supposed to be her mom and failed to protect her. My mom failed to protect me. And that's a hard pill to swallow. It is. It's a hard pill to swallow, especially after she doubled down on it. Because it's one thing about her not protecting me. She knew I got SA while I was a child in my most vulnerable moments. And instead of she stood by my side and was there for me, she did this back and forth thing of one moment she's my best friend, then the next moment I can't do nothing right and she yelling at me, she doing all these things. So she went back and forth and she played that game until I got older and I got to a point where she couldn't play them games with me no more. Cause I just started, I just started peeping stuff. I started catching on. And so it got to a point where it was like, to what my mom, I said she ran out of time. She ran out of time. And not time of what you think. She thought she ran out of time on the plan that she had against me of knocking me down or getting me to a place where I would never be who I am today and be successful and be seen in the light that I'm seen at today. She thought she ran out of time. No, she ran out of time to take accountability and to make things right. Not for me, but for herself. This whole time, especially during my upbringing, she thought she was hurting me. When she put me out, she thought she would hurt me. I thought she was hurting me too. But now I'm 26 years old and I'm in the position I'm in today. She was hurting nobody but herself. And it's sad. It makes me sad because I was able to see a glimpse of the person that my mama was before she allowed trauma to get hold of her. My mom is a very beautiful person. She is very nice, very caring, very giving. She's also very creative. She knows how to dress. She knows how to put styles together. She knows how to make you laugh. Oh my God. It was times where I would be sad and my mom, she would make me laugh. And I think, I don't know, that's just always been something that stand out to me. Like, you could make me laugh. I don't know, that means a lot to me. So, my mom, she had a chance that she had time to make things right and to go back and right her wrong, and she never wanted to do it. And like I said, she never wanted to do it because that stuff is heavy. That's some heavy stuff to say, to have to admit to yourself. Not even to anybody else, but to admit to yourself as a woman that you birthed children and one of your kids was a daughter and you allowed a man that you were sleeping next to every night to harm your baby girl. And instead of you going about your business and you stay away, you went with that man and you doubled down and you tried to tarnish your daughter's character and you tried to even put her in scenarios to lose her life. That is crazy. That's why I'm not sitting back waiting for no apology from my mom. You know what? It would be, I'll even tell you one thing. It would actually shock me. It would shock me. I would feel like hell done froze over if I ever got an apology from my mom. Not just a simple I'm sorry, but an apology for all the things that she did. Hell will freeze over. I don't believe it. I don't think she could do it. I don't think she could do it because it's just too much. It's too much. And she should have stopped when she was getting the signs to stop, but she just kept going. She just kept going. She thought that basically she was going to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and it wasn't her. It wasn't her. But yeah, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and end this here. I hope y'all enjoyed that story time. I hope y'all enjoyed the look. The look is tea. I'm 26 now, so I'm trying to find my way, navigate through life and stuff. So I'm going to start serving y'all looks when I do these story times, just to give y'all something to look at, you know, whatever. So I'm going to see y'all in my next video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Wait, I said it back. Not too much. I said it back. Okay. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'm going to see you in my next video.